What's going on, everybody? Got another video coming at you. Feel real good today. Got off work early. Donald Trump isn't our president anymore. What is there not to love? So I want to make a new video. I want to do something a little different. I mentioned it in the last one. We're going to take a break from just going A to Z through my records, and we're going to just go through my soundtracks, because the way I organize my records, those are right at the beginning. I keep them separate with, I don't really organize them by like composer or anything like that. So I keep those on their own separate area, and so it was I was doing things a little out of order at first. So I want to go back, do all the soundtracks, and yeah, go through some of my favorite scores, some of my favorite movies, video games. I got it all in here. All right. Starting off, something I think I've shown before. This is the Symphonic Suite to Akira. You can't see it right there. That's my Akira poster. One of my favorite films, one of the greatest animated films ever. Incredible movie. If you have not seen it, I'm sure a lot of people already have. But this is just the Symphonic Suite. I believe this is the Newbury Comics version, their exclusive version. Two records. The score, you know, it's very, very interesting and very unique, and feels very reminiscent of the area and like the time period of this movie, which is to say like very post-apocalyptic Japan. Still feels very 80s though, and it's very, very unique soundtrack. The records look great. The movie is fucking fantastic. The composer is, there's a lot of Japanese composers in here. Geno Yamashiri Yogo, that guy. Yeah, I'm not trying that. That guy. Not trying to pronounce that. I'm not trying to get canceled here. Moving on from there. Again, one of my favorite movies. Please, if you have not watched it, watch that movie. One of my favorite is my favorite video game. Very confident in that. I recently found the soundtrack to Bloodborne on vinyl. Oh my fucking god. This is the greatest video game ever made. I don't think there is a better video game. Look at that fucking gatefold. If you haven't played it, if you're familiar with a game called Dark Souls, it's by the same creator. This is a PlayStation exclusive. I started playing it back in like 2016, and I got hooked immediately. And I've been playing it on and off ever since. Like, I really have never stopped playing it. I recently 100%ed it, which was amazing. But yeah, just like some of the tracks on here, it's very, very orchestral, very grand, very spooky and scary, and it's really, really well done. And if you want to cry, put on, where is it? The First Hunter, which is what plays in the final boss fight, which is, such a good. Just everything about this game and everything about the score is just fantastic. I think the records are just black. They are. I'm not going to bother showing that. But yeah, if you're a fan of video games and you have not played Bloodborne yet, it's an extremely difficult game, but it's one of the best games ever made, really. From there, oh god, okay. So I have to explain myself here. I really like the musical Cats. I haven't really played this much because it's a bit beat up. I got it out of my grandma's house. My grandma and my mom both really love this musical. I also do. The movie is fucking garbage. Please do not watch the movie. Watch, like, a recording of the stage performance, please, because it's Andrew Lloyd Webber, great music, great dancing. Don't let the movie turn you off from how good the original play and stage performance is, because this is a fantastic little musical. It comes with a little booklet. It's got pictures of all the cast. I don't listen to this much, but it is a really great musical, and I think the movie has really tarnished it, because that movie was horrendous. From there, we're going with something a bit big. We're going back to video games. This is the 4LP Cuphead soundtrack. If you're not familiar with Cuphead, it's another very difficult game where you play as these two guys here, Cuphead and Mugman, and you go around trying to beat these big bosses. And it's a very difficult game, like I said. But the whole game is drawn in the style of like bendy arms, early Mickey Mouse style cartooning. And to accompany that, the man behind this score, let's find his name, Christopher Madigan, has 4 LPs worth, I believe 4. Yep, 4 LPs worth of essentially just big band jazz to accompany it. And it's all very good. It's all very good. I think I've listened to the whole thing maybe once, and then other than that, I've just skipped around different discs. But this is a prized possession of mine. I'm pretty sure this goes for quite a bit of money, and it's very big. And the cool thing about it is if you open it up, it even resembles like an old, like 30s or 20s like record like setup here. And oh my god, not only is this a great game, it's a great score. It accompanies the style so well. And there's so much material on this. This was very expensive, but I'm sure it's worth a lot more now. So if I ever need the money, there we go. From there, I'm gonna skip this one very quickly. Got this out of my grandma's house. It's a recording of The Frog Prince, but with Kermit and Robin. But yeah, I've never played this before. I just like Kermit the Frog. From there, a soundtrack to La La Land, one of my favorite musicals. My only real complaint, after I was really obsessed with this movie when it came out, I was really obsessed with it. My only real complaint is I wish there was more music. I think the cinematography is excellent, acting excellent, music is beautiful, but there's just not enough of the music. There's a section of the film where there's no music in it for like a good 45 minutes to an hour. Like there's a good portion of this film that with no music in it, and I think that's a bit of a complaint of mine. Now that I've, it's been out for like what, 2 years. Records on blue though, nice clear blue. I really do love this movie. I recommend it highly. But if you want a good example of the music, I think Someone in the Crowd is very good, and then A Lovely Night with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. They have a lot of chemistry on that song, and it's really beautiful. Really, really like La La Land. Another fantastic movie. I don't know if this is too popular, but it's a really incredible film. The Last Black Man of San Francisco. The movie itself is really about gentrification and how black people are really being moved out of these areas that they were so firmly in for so long, and the harm that gentrification can really do. But again, very beautiful movie, very well directed, acted, some really powerful scenes in it. It's funny too, but the score itself is by Emile Mosseri. Emile, I think Emile Mosseri. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. It's right there. But yeah, fantastic film. A great gatefold to it too. Yeah, I loved it the second I saw it. Very, very good film. Score is very string heavy, but the way he composes them is very unique to him, to this composer. Like, it doesn't really seem. This little sleeve there. It doesn't really seem. I can't really compare it to anything. It's just very unique in the way he arranges the strings and composes everything. And it's funny because it's a very like modern film. These are very modern black people. This is very much a film of its era, which was like 2019, 2018. But the music seems so classical and high and I don't know, high art, I guess you'd say. And it's a great contrast because these people, they're poor in the film, and having this very elegant, high music behind it, like high art is what I'm trying to say. It's like music behind it. It's a great contrast, and it shows you just how amazing these people are, and it really accompanies them as characters. Yeah. Amazing film. I really highly recommend it. From there, this is a good one. We got the fucking Lighthouse. This is probably my favorite movie that came out in, 2019? This is put out by Sacred Bones. The movie itself was the same guy that directed The Witch, which I actually do have that soundtrack in a frame up here, but I'm not taking it down. I'd rather not move the camera. I'll show that another time, probably if I ever take it out of the frame. I think I maybe have shown it in another video. I don't know. But the cool thing is it's die cut. So the record's clear, so the clear record actually becomes the light of the Lighthouse. I'll show you the record too. And then on this side, there's the die cut in here as well. So the soundtrack's by Mark Corvin, who also scored The Witch, the previous film by this director. And if you have not seen this film, it is fucking crazy. It is one of the most unique and terrifying horror films I've watched in a really long time. It's incredible. If you enjoy horror films, if you enjoy good acting, if you enjoy, I don't know, just a solid fucking freak show of a psychological film, watch this movie. It's amazing. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Alright, getting back into anime. We're getting back into anime. We actually got a couple of ones here. This is the Image album. Some of the recent reissues they've been doing of Studio Ghibli films. This is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. One of my favorite films by Miyazaki. The score is, again, by Joe Hisaishi, who does pretty much all of his scores. I don't know what films he hasn't done for him, but his scores are amazing. They're lodged in my head because I've seen all these films so many times, especially Princess Mononoke, especially Nausicaa, especially Spirited Away. There's just too many good scores that he's done. Wind Rises. I wish there was a vinyl pressing of the Wind Rises soundtrack. That'd be amazing. Wind Rises is one of my favorite films. But going back to this, if you haven't seen Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, Studio Ghibli, anime film, amazing. Miyazaki does an amazing job of creating a world. World building is really something that he does. It's his strength, I would say. And this is a world that's essentially been overrun by a toxic jungle, or like a poison jungle that's kind of spreading over the land, and humans aren't really on the top of the food chain anymore. It's more these giant insect creatures that are kind of taking things over. And it's this girl, Nausicaa, trying to keep balance between the insects and the humans, who are trying to essentially destroy the forest and the insects with it. So it's a great environmentalist film, amazingly animated for the day. Came out in like late 80s, mid 80s, around there. It's all in Japanese, I can't read it. But the record itself is just on black, I believe. So yeah, just that. And it comes with a little bit of art in here too. Very nice art. Fantastic film if you haven't seen it. Highly recommend it. It's amazing. From there, we go to a film that, shocker, I really like. I know, it's in the back of every single one of my videos. This is the soundtrack to Perfect Blue. I am so fucking happy I found this. The score is by... Who did the score? Masahiro Ikumi and Yuji Yoshida. I got that one right. The record itself has a really nice, like, teal color to it. The score is very ambient, very electronic, very avant-garde, I guess you'd say. Not cohesive in the sense of like a normal string arrangement score, but it complements the film perfectly. If you have not seen the film, it is a psychological film by Satoshi Kon. May he rest in peace. I wish we could have gotten so much more from him. But it's about an actress, or a singer who becomes an actress and starts dealing with somebody who is stalking her, which somewhat, and pretends to be her on a message board, which kind of drives her to question who she is as a person, and if she's real, or if this person's real. It's an incredible psychological thriller that was the big inspiration for, why am I forgetting his name? The guy who did Black Swan and Requiem for a Dream, Darren Aronofsky, good lord. Mother is another great film by him that he cites Satoshi Kon as a major influence on his twisted, fucked up films, because Satoshi Kon's films are twisted and fucked up in their own right. Moving on from Perfect Blue, we have another video game, a nice little indie game soundtrack. This is Pikuniku. This is a great soundtrack. It's just very quaint, very simple, like fun electronic music. Done by Callum Bowen. If you haven't played Pikuniku, it's like a co-op game where these little dudes, these little guys, Piku and Niku, and you try to get through levels. It's a very simple, cute game, and it's so fun, and the score matches it perfectly. Yeah, it's just a great little game. From there, one of my favorite games. I'm going to take this out of the sleeve, but I'm going to regret it because I can't... Oh man, I can't get this out of the sleeve. Oh no. This is the Portal soundtrack. This is one of my favorite games ever. And if Portal and Portal 2 are amazing puzzle games. If you've not played them, do yourself a favor and play them. The score is amazing because, first off, it looks like the companion cube. And second, I really hope I can get it out of the sleeve without ripping it, because it's so... No, I don't know if I can. Well, I'm just going to rip it. Yeah, I tried sticking this thing in here because I didn't really have another sleeve for it, but I can't really get it off now, so that's a problem. The packaging is really incredible because they said it was a wallet packaging. And you go, what is that? That means you can open it like this, and you can also open it like this. You can open it both directions, which is really, really bizarre. And then when you go like this, you open it back up. I have the Obi in here. Oh, God. And then the record is in here, like that. And the record's just gray and white, if I'm not wrong. It's like a split record, like that. Soundtrack's great. I don't remember who composed it. Who did? Original soundtrack music by Aperture Science Psychoacoustics Laboratory. So, yeah. If you don't know the game Portal, I highly recommend playing it. The score is just as good, and this packaging was put out by Mondo, and they did an amazing job with it as well. So, shout out to Mondo, shout out to Portal, shout out to Valve. Great game, great soundtrack, great everything about this. Now I gotta fucking put it back in another sleeve, and hopefully don't have to rip the sleeve next time I want to listen to it. I'm gonna try and pick things up here, but next two we got, both Studio Ghibli. We got my all-time favorite film, Princess Mononoke. Got that the other day. I am a major Princess Mononoke fan. It is my favorite fucking movie ever. It is another, like I said, Miyazaki film, another Studio Ghibli film. Joe Hisaishi on the score. It is my favorite score of his. He does such an amazing job with the strings, with the emotion, with the composing. Everything is just lodged in my brain. I used to listen to this soundtrack on repeat as if it was just a regular album. I love, love, love this movie more than anything. Just please watch Princess Mononoke. Do yourself a fucking favor. Also, while you're at it, when you're done with Princess Mononoke, watch Spirited Away. Spirited Away is another one of my favorite films. Also Miyazaki. Also Joe Hisaishi. They've been reissuing all of their scores recently, and I've been picking them up, even though they're ridiculously fucking expensive. I don't care. They're my favorite films, and I want the soundtracks. And I don't know if there's anything else to say. It's just, again, really well composed. The first song on there, oh god, it's like Spring Sun or something like that. Summer something. It's a beautiful, beautiful track. Just like the theme that plays right at the beginning of the film. Gorgeous soundtrack. Amazing film. Can't say enough about it. Oh, this one. Oh god, this is traumatic. This is Under the Skin, starring Scarlett Johansson, scored by Mika Levi. Holy shit. This is a twisted fucking movie. I don't know if I'll ever be able to watch this movie again, but it really lodged itself in my brain. There's a scene in it a couple scenes in it where it's just like, fuck, man. It's about Scarlett Johansson, who's, I guess, maybe an alien, who, is trying to lure men and kill them, but then she realizes that she could have a life outside of this, and then just horrible, fucked up shit happens. But the score, is very, very quiet, very beautiful, and very subtle, and ambient, but still feels organic in a sense, and complements the very subdued nature of the film. Like, this film, you could probably watch it on mute, and it would probably have the same effect, and you'd really understand what was going on. But the score really complements how quiet and subtle the film is, and I really, really love this score, and I really like the movie itself. I just don't know if I'll watch it again. It was so stressful. So fucking stressful. I don't know if I could ever watch it again. This one, we got the soundtrack to Us. I think I've shown this one before. This is one of my favorite horror films of the last few years. Jordan Peele is incredible. Get Out and Us are two of the most amazing horror films I've seen in a really long time. He's absolutely killing it. The score is also very good. Very active and very emotional, and does a great job of creeping you out. It doesn't follow like standard trends in horror movie soundtracks where they just subtle undertone and then a loud burst of strings or anything like that. It really follows the beat of its own drum in terms of horror film soundtracks, and the packaging on this one is really, really amazing. It's obviously we got the cover here. You open it up, we have all the families, and what you're supposed to do is you can cut these. You're supposed to cut them open, and then you have I put them backwards. You have the other version of the people. I'm not going to spoil anything from the film, but you have the other version of the people on the inside of the record. And then believe it's the same thing for this one. But if you haven't seen Us, I'm not going to say anything about it. It's an amazing, amazing horror film. Don't ask any questions. Go into it blind if you haven't seen it already. It's amazing. And also, you've got a nice little mirror there. You can see my phone that's recording this because I'm broke and I don't have a tripod for my camera. But yeah, amazing, amazing film. And then I think this is the last one. No, second to last one. West Side Story. I love West Side Story. It's an amazing movie, and it's a great musical. One of my favorite musicals, if not. It might be my favorite musical. I really like Phantom of the Opera. I really like the Disney musical and everything, but this might be my favorite. West Side Story is amazing music. It hasn't really aged well, considering everybody in the movie that's Cuban is played by a white person, except for like one guy. But that doesn't change the fact that the performances are good, and the music is fantastic. And the story is great as well, and you really do feel for these characters. I really hope they remake it someday with people who are actually Cuban, or at the very least Hispanic, and then still manage to keep the quality of the original film and the quality of the music and the performances. I can think of a lot of people who could fucking nail these songs in music. But yeah, I would love to see a remake of this film come out one day. And this is an original copy too. This was in my grandmother's collection. But yeah, just great songs on here. Oh god, what's if you somewhere there's a place for us, someday a place for us, peace and quiet and open air. I could go on. I won't, though. That's a really great movie. Everybody should see West Side Story. It's fantastic. Anyways, the last one, another anime, Wolf Children, one of my favorite films ever, a film by Mamoru Hosoda. If you have not heard of his films, watch this one. Watch Mirai. Watch Summer... What's that one called again? Summer Wars. I almost called it Summer Friends. Summer Wars. Watch all of his films. They're all amazing. He hasn't made a bad one. This is the score to Wolf Children. Similar with Joe Hisaishi composing all the stuff for Miyazaki's films. A lot of the time in Mamoru Hosoda's films, you have Masakatsu Takagi composing a lot of his stuff. And he has a really unique style as well. It's a lot of strings and a lot of pianos, a lot of very conventional score setup, but he adds these like weird vocal effects in over that. Like they seem like manipulated, but also like amateurish, like he recorded them off the street. Yeah, it's a standard sounding score, but it goes a bit deeper than that, and I think it's very, very pretty. There's a song on here called All the Warm Lives that's gorgeous. Mother's Song. Oh god, what's that? Kido Kido, Dance of Your Nature. I cry every time I hear that song because it's funny. Well, this is a very, very, very sad film. The moments in this film where there's real, honest-to-God joy really, really bring you the most joy. And those are kind of the moments that'll bring you to tears. But yeah, if you want a film that is a great film about motherhood, a great film about family, love, this is a perfect film. I really, really, really love this film. I think it's fucking fantastic. But yeah, that's all my soundtracks. I'll be back again with the regular style videos after all this happens, or after, later when I get a chance to make another one. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you again soon. Love you guys.